8 Tips from Millionaire: How to Save Money in 2021. Have you ever started off the month with the best of intentions to save money? Buying only what you need, steering clear of the sales displays, and trying to watch your spending? And then, despite your best efforts, it just seems to happen. It takes time and dedication to stop overspending and to reform your spending habits. And every now and then the urge to swipe your card will rear its ugly head. This happens to all of us, so don't be hard on yourself. No one can completely reform their bad habits overnight. Once you know how to budget and you set some goals and safeguards in place, in time you'll become a savvy consumer who knows how to save money and use it wisely instead. 1. Have at least one no-spend day each week. Having a no-spend day is both incredibly simple and surprisingly difficult. When you stop to think about it, you probably spend money on at least one thing every day, even if it's as small as a bus fare or a small snack while you're out and about. Exercise some self-restraint and try to have at least one no-spend day each week. It'll take some forward planning, like buying food in a weekly shop, but the psychological impact of learning how to save money should mean you become a lot more careful with it in the long term. 2. Understand your spending triggers. In many cases, knowing how to save money has to do with identifying the emotional and psychological triggers that cause us to spend. If you remove those triggers, you'll remove the temptation and opportunity to overspend. So the next time you head out the door, keep these in mind. Environment. Are there certain environments that make you want to spend, or make you feel obligated to spend just because you're there? Craft fairs, shopping malls, home shows, and even when you're on holidays are all prime examples of times when you're more likely to spend impulsively. So, take away the temptation by either steering clear of such environments, or only taking a few dollars with you. Lifestyle. If you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle, it could be difficult to give up when you suddenly encounter a financial hardship. But, if your lifestyle ends up becoming bigger than your budget, and you don't know how to stop overspending your budget, you could end up in worse shape. The easiest way to start living within your means is to create a budget, and to stick to it. You may have to sacrifice some creature comforts, but it will be worth it when you see your bank balance coming out of the red. 3. Make your budget work for you. The littlest purchases can really add up, and by the time the end of the month rolls around, we can be facing a dwindling bank account and severe buyer's remorse. Tracking your expenses is the key to successful budgeting, because it keeps you accountable for every dollar you're spending. Once you're aware of where your money is going, you'll be in a better position to make smarter spending choices, and to identify areas you can cut back in. Try the 50-30-20 rule for budgeting. If you're new to budgeting, try allocating 50% of your take-home pay towards necessities, food, shelter, utilities, clothing, etc. 30% towards lifestyle choices, vacations, gym fees, hobbies, cell phone plans, extra. And 20% towards financial goals and priorities, extra debt payments, savings, etc. This isn't a perfect budget, but it can be a good place to begin. 4. Stick to cash and stop relying on credit cards. It's more convenient to whip out a credit card to pay for a purchase than it is to count out a wad of bills. But this convenience is one of the reasons behind many people's overspending. The downside of credit cards is the ease with which you can overspend. When we're nonchalantly handing over our card to make a purchase, we're often not aware of how much everything will add up at the end of the month. With cash, you physically see how much you have, and how much of your funds are diminishing with each purchase. By paying only in cash, you're forcing yourself to only spend what you have. So, give your credit cards a break and try to stick to a cash-based system to see if it will curb your spending habits. Based on your budget, take out some cash at the start of the week and put it in an envelope, which will act as your ATM for the week. Draw out a few bills here and there to cover your purchases, and if you find yourself running low on cash, you'll have to figure out a way to make your money stretch. By paying with cash, you'll learn how to stop relying on credit, and you'll know how to stop spending money you don't have. The cash envelope system will also encourage you to become more creative and resourceful. If you overspend and you don't have enough to go out to dinner with your friends, you'll have to figure out different ways of saving money. Or think of budget-friendly ways to spend time with your friends. 5. Set short-term financial goals. Setting some attainable, short-term financial goals is a great way to stay motivated as you alter your spending habits. Having these goals will constantly remind you of the reasons you're cutting back on expenses and making a few sacrifices. And it's important that your goals are specific. A generic goal like decrease spending on eating out isn't going to cut it. Quantifiable goals, such as I will decrease my spending on eating out from $200 a month to $100 a month, gives you a target to aim for, so you're not shooting in the dark. Some short-term goals that can shift how you view and use money include saving 10% of each paycheck into a separate account, sticking to a cash budget for 3 weeks, bringing lunch to work every day for a month instead of eating out. Regardless of what your goals are, it's important that you keep them simple, make them attainable, and post them somewhere visible to remind you of what to aim for. 6. Delay gratification. If you're having trouble sticking to your new budget and shopping list, imagine how you'll be using that must-have item a month from now. Will that sweater still look good after a few washes? Will your kids still be playing with that overpriced toy set? Will those cheap shoes last through the entire season? Most of the time, the answer is, put it back. But what if you still want it? Then you wait. Work it into next month's budget and revisit your feelings in 30 days. If you still love it, you'll be able to buy it without the guilt because it's already in the budget. 7. Challenge yourself to reach your new goals. Ready to put your willpower to the test? Buy just the bare necessities for 1 month. You'll be amazed by how little you actually need. You'll also be able to identify the things you don't necessarily need, but would simply like to have. Do you like using your gym membership because it helps you stay active? Keep it. Does your weekly visit to the chiropractor keep your back in tip-top shape? Keep going. If it fits into your budget and doesn't cause you to go into debt, spending money isn't an issue. 8. Tell friends and family you're saving money. When you tell the people closest to you that you're on a mission to save money, they'll be more inclined to invite you to free or cheap events to support you. We often forget that entertainment doesn't have to be expensive, or even cost a dime. There are so many free and cheap sources of entertainment that will have you getting out, being social, and having a great time. After all, life's too short to just sit at home all the time. If you like this channel, please subscribe and comment. If you want more videos like this, press bell notification. Thank you for watching.